The first thing you do is take the chicken out of the package, throw the package away. If your chicken has a pop-up timer like this, just pull it out because they're pretty useless anyways. And it just pulls right out. You want to open up and see if there's anything inside, and there is. Save that to make stock. Oh. Throw it in the bowl. It's all the organs and stuff, and it's actually really nutritious, so it's good to put in your stock. Strain it out, obviously, when you're done. My chicken's still kind of frozen inside, so it's hard to pull it out. The next thing you want to do is rinse your chicken well with cold water. Just all over, rinse it off, inside the cavity. If you don't pull the stuff that's inside out and you cook it with that, it's really actually gross. So it's important to always check the inside of the chicken. Alright. Chicken is pretty well rinsed. So I'm going to move it to my roasting pan. I'm going to wash my hands quick so I can get out a bowl. Put that other stuff in. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is loosen the skin on the chicken. It's a good idea to get all of your ingredients out before you do this, but I don't think ahead, so I didn't do that.
I didn't either.
If you loosen the skin up though, then later when you rub oil or butter on it, you rub it under the skin and it keeps the chicken really moist and gives it more flavor. Okay. After you rinse your chicken and you put it into the roasting pan, the next thing you're going to do is make sure it's nice and dry. If it's not dry, the oil's not going to stick to the skin. So you just dry it off really well. This is pretty much the only thing that we use paper towels for, because I don't want chicken juice on my real towels. Next thing, I have a whole bunch of garlic cloves here, and I throw them inside the chicken. And that kind of gives it flavor from the inside. Another nice thing to put inside a chicken is branches of rosemary or slices of lemon. Any of that stuff flavors the meat while it's roasting and saves you some work. The next thing to do is, this is just olive oil, and you just rub the whole thing down with the olive oil. I don't ever worry about the back because I don't eat that part. So I don't bother with the skin that's on the back. Oops. And you rub under the skin as well. Like I said before, this just makes the chicken really moist and helps make the skin really crispy.
Do you want oil?
Then I have some seasoning already mixed up. It's It's just a combination of seasonings that I like. You can use pretty much anything you want. And I am going to sprinkle some so it goes under the skin. A little bit on each side of the breast there. And then rub that all around. And that really helps to flavor the meat well. If you're grossed out by raw chicken, this is something that kind of takes a while to get used to. I used to really hate doing this, and now it's not so bad because I've done it a lot. The one thing you want to think about, because we're planning on using this chicken to make meals for a whole week, is to not use any kind of seasoning that's going to be overpowering or very specific. Like, you wouldn't want to necessarily make a jerk chicken and then use it to make enchiladas or something tomorrow. So keep your seasonings fairly basic if you're planning to use the chicken for other meals too. Alright, so you have your chicken nice and rubbed down with seasonings. The next thing you want to do, you don't want to roast it laying out like this. You want it to be nice and compact while you're roasting it. So you can truss it with twine, or they make these silicone rubber band things you can use, but the easiest way to do it, if you have a sharper knife than this, is to just make a hole in this extra skin here around the cavity and stick the chicken's leg through there, kind of toward the skin there so it's coming apart, and then the same thing on this side. It's a lot easier with a sharp knife, or kitchen shears work well too.
I have neither, I'm sorry.
It's starting to cut.
Please don't chop your hand off.
It's a butter knife.
It's really freaking, it's sharp. Trust me.
Alright, there we go. And you take the other leg and cross it and stick it through that hole. And then you make him kind of relax and stick his hands behind his head there. I can't find the hole there. I just broke his arm, but oh well.
Dad, it's okay.
There, so he kind of sits with his arms behind his head. And it's nice and compact now for roasting. You can tuck the tail up and in. And that seals it off. And it's ready to go in the oven. I've been known to cook underserved chicken, or serve undercooked chicken in the past. So my in-laws got me this fancy thermometer for Christmas. And we put the probe into the thickest part of the chicken, which is the thigh, and then the wire just comes out of the oven, and the little temperature thing sits on the top. So we have the oven at 350, and the fancy thermometer will tell us when the chicken reaches the proper temperature, and then we clean up and wait a little while before we make our side dishes.